Do your drums sound like this?
Ew.
Instead, I'm going to show you how I make my 808s like this. All right, let's do it. We're back. We're back. We're back. Hey, Alex Subhuman here with United-POP Melbourne. Today, I want to take a look at 808s. Not just any 808s, I mean... Let's grab a fresh instance of Vital. As much as you can, you want to try and synthesize your own 808s. I think there's so many awesome options out there on places like Splice, but if you can go on to Splice, you can grab your 808, drag it into your track. It sounds pretty slick. It takes you like 3 seconds. That means anyone else can achieve the same thing in the same amount of time. And that's super boring. You do not want to sound like everyone else. You want to sound unique and interesting. So let's make our own 808s today. Let's start with a sine wave. Ooh, that'll do. Turn this naughty phase randomization off. The main game here with 808s is you're going to have your big sub element, which will be our sine wave. That's going to be our fundamental, okay? The big bassy bottom part looks a bit like this. Fundamental. There it is. The sine wave is only a fundamental. It's the only sound that has no harmonics. We need to bring out some additional sounds and tones within our 808. That's going to be achieved bringing in some harmonics. Let's chuck on another voice. It's oscillator 2, basic shapes. This time we'll go up to our trapezium. Phase down, random phase down. Let's have a listen. Oh, these are our harmonics, okay? Second and third order harmonics here. Next, I want to add some distortion. We're going to really push through some additional harmonics in this sound. Distortion on. Let's have a look at the harmonics now. Mix off. On. Yeah, look. A few more there. Hello. Let's drive it up a bit higher. That's too much. Too many high ones. About here. What I want to do now is grab LFO1 and I'm going to route it to my drive. I don't mind it being up a bit, but I want it to start off not as drastic. Oh, I'm wrong. This way. That's probably good. Maybe we'll boost that position. So dialing in the difference between it being not much on here, going up, adding more drive, and pulling back again. Maybe we'll slow down the LFO. There we go. Next, I'm going to go into our voicing section and we're going to put on a filter. For this, I'm going to put the filter up relatively high, add drive, and then route another LFO onto the filter position. Let's have it pulling back, maybe from around here. Add a little bit of resonance. Drive. Oh, I like that. The whole tail of it at the end there. Turn it off. On. Yeah, you can pick either way, up to you. That's going to be our basic 808 there. A little bit dirty, a little bit naughty. What I really like is adding a further sense of ominousness. Is that a word?
Ominousness.
That a little bit dirty. So let's bring in some pitch modulation. LFO3, route it to our pitch and oscillator 2. Rather than trying to dial that in perfectly, let's swing over to our matrix. If we hit option, boom, it's going to give us the ability to type this in. So we can go -5 semitones for a pretty drastic effect. Let's have a listen. Yep. Disgusting!
Disgusting!
I love it when it goes up an octave and just hangs and comes down a little bit there. All right, next step, we're going to go back into Ableton and let's chuck on some post-processing. So I'm going to add drive and color, slap on an amp here. Ah, job done. Very dirty. Triple down, rock, lead, eek. Bass pretty sick. A little bit extreme, isn't it? Yeah. For this one with rock, we got a lot of plasticky high end, so we'd actually bring that down. And that brings me on to my last point. I like to sometimes add a little bit of into this, like I have with my FM synthesis basses. Erosion. Chuck it on this side over here. And even though we've filtered off the unpleasant harshness from the distortion, yeah, it's a little bit too extreme here. Let's filter that off. I still want to add something back that's not quite as extreme. Wide noise up. Turn that one off. Let's turn the filter off. Let's go back to blues. That sounds a bit better. I'm going to drag that down there. Lovely. Let's listen to it. Drums on. Lovely. There's one last thing actually I would like to say here is I've added on a drum loop. So what is going on over here? Let's give it a solo and turn off our processing. It is warped and repitched. So if I put it onto beats mode, you'll hear it by itself. Cool. Oh, it's all right. I like to chuck on repitch, get all the pitches down because we've slowed it down. Yep. And we're going to chuck on some drum processing. Driven it up here on the drum bus, bit of crunch, damp, takes away some of the high end, and we're removing some of the transients, the bits of the drums. This is now sidechained to my kick and snare group. So it's kind of moving up and down a little bit with the drums, and it just adds some extra nice texture to your loop. This is like clap, maybe some more high end there. It's a bit better. 808 comes in. Alrighty, that's been making your 808s sound real slick. It's Alex Subhuman with United-POP Melbourne, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.